Oh wait, yeah, I think we'll come around this way just to make it a little more entertaining. I'm here. Okay. But to fulfill your desire for success in wealth, health, and relationships, first advice is understanding that your mind creates the pillars towards or away from your success. The second point is that your mind is split into two parts. The left pillar being logic, and creativity being the right one. Now, the reason why you suck at this, at using both pillars, is because society has led you to kill your right pillar, probably accidentally, by solely focusing on logic and getting real, right? And being with the physical reality in front of you. Now here's the problem, right? Because obviously this is hypocritical for many reasons. I'm going to give you a few. 60% of Americans are obese. 64% are unhappy with their jobs. Infertility is flying higher than a crowd at a Travis Scott concert, and no one's getting real about that, right? And why is because we can't control our creativity. I'll link this in a second, like together. Urges, emotions, or anything we label as uncontrollable is often just creativity being wasted. Now, the question I ask myself, knowing this, is what if we could use something as strong as urges in our favor? What if we could take this urge and put it into exercising rather than putting it away from exercising and into giving ourselves a false belief of what our reality is, right? Instead of imagining what we look like in the mirror, actually looking towards what we want to look, what we will look like in the mirror, right? Because, you're doing the exercise. So, I have an answer to actually figure out how to do this, including actionable steps, which will control your creativity into a flashlight which shines your success back to your name. Yes, this sounds really stupid and cliche, but it'll literally do that. It'll make sense in a second. And what you need to do is you need to start unlocking the right pillar of your mind again, as it has been shut down due to conditioning in school and parents and everything else that is currently structured around our modern society. Do this by going into deep states of meditation or as deep as you physically currently can. That makes sense, yeah. So, and I recommend starting off to use Medito because it's a free meditation app for those who don't know. And basically, if you're like a beginner or even an expert in meditation, you can go and do this real easily. There's literally 3-minute sessions on there if you're like that impatient and you can't like sit still for a little bit. There's actually also a lesson on how to sit still. Like, this is all in there. Completely free. I'm not sponsored by them because, look, I have 18 subscribers. You think I'm going to be sponsored? Right now, anyways. But it's a really cool app. You should use it. It'll help you begin meditating as a habit. But anyways, going on. Now, the reason why you would want to meditate is to help you control your emotions. And when you control your emotions, it will allow you to basically turn them into the flashlight I was talking about by being able to emphasize certain emotions and unemphasize others by becoming aware of certain ones. Does that make sense? I'm going to become aware of my confidence, and I'm going to be able to record better because I know what points I'm talking about since I have them written. That's an example. And then I want you to stick with the meditation habit for at least a month. So that way, when you keep developing the skill, you'll be able to reach deeper states of emotional control and almost even to the point where you don't even, not like you don't feel emotion like you're cold, but you just don't feel emotion because you're aware of the present moment. It's a really interesting aspect of meditation that I like. So I think that's why I do it still. And it's really cool because before I would get angry at shit or I would get frustrated at unnecessary bullshit. And then I would sit there and kind of argue back or do this or do that. But now I'm kind of turned into more of, I guess the best word for it is a stoic. If you know what stoicism is, you can go look it up real quick. And it just, you can see life in a much broader perspective, and you can see the value of certain things in a much more clarifying level. So I'd really recommend meditation, even if you don't want to, if your aim is not to create something or to have creativity, you can still meditate to unlock this better version of yourself, which will automatically benefit your health and your relationships, and maybe even your wealth too, because you'll be able to solve problems better. But anyways, done ranting. Second point, I want you to read these 2 books, right? Now, you can get free PDFs of them online. Trust me, I've done it. Don't tell anybody. Anyways, so read Deep Work by Cal Newport and Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. These are 2 books which really open your eyes to the idea of being able to control your mental energy towards one thing, while the other one's also about being able to control your emotions into certain scenarios where you can unleash them at maximum potential. That's how I saw it. And this one will help you focus, understand, and control emotions towards your success. That's why I recommend them, because I wouldn't if they didn't work. At least they worked for me. And with these things, they will jumpstart the right pillar of your brain. Now, to maintain and continue its health, because you need to do so just as school did with the logic side of your brain, you can do these things as a habit and do them in different ways, right? If you find one thing on Medito, right, for example, intriguing, go and do that thing. You don't have to go from the beginner level to the expert level in the monotonous kind of scheduled way. Obviously, I'd recommend doing that because it'll help you develop certain skills. Because if you think about it, you're just like a kindergartner right now. You, as the audience, you're probably a kindergartner in meditation, right? I'm not a senior in meditation, right? We're putting this in American high school perspective, so primary versus like end of secondary, right? That's for any European audience. And you continue, so that way you can continue its health and continue it growing this right pillar of your brain, or right hemisphere if you couldn't catch on. And it will help you, what's the word? I don't know what the word is I'm looking here for. Fulfill the idea of better wealth, health, and success by implementing different ideas compared to the ones that you know don't work. Because you, the individual, know how to analyze scenarios. You know, oh, okay, that thing's wrong. But you don't really know how to create a solution to it. At least that's how I was for a really long time. I would know that doing something is wrong, and yet I do it because I don't know anything better. And with meditation, I started to understand how to create solutions that may not exactly seem logical, but do have the form of essence to them. And once you convince yourself that you are intelligent and that you should try these, it will work a lot of the time, a lot more than you think. So I'm really interested if you go on this journey. You can comment down, updates if you want to. If you're like one of those people, go for it. And the reason why I'm able to speak of this is because I've been meditating for 7 months with pretty decent consistency. I mean, at least twice a week, right? And like I've said, my mind operates completely differently because of this. You start getting like multiple insights. I call it insight stacking. And you'll first see one part of your mind that you never saw before, and you'll be like, oh shit, I'm an idiot. And then you do it again, you're like, oh shit, I'm an idiot. And it just repeats itself. And it's a really good humbling habit, because when you realize that your mind is weak in these certain patterns, in certain ways, you can start nurturing that part of your mind that you need to grow in order to become a successful person in whatever pursuit of life, of wealth, health, or relationships that you have. And And honestly, you even get the benefits just starting too. It's not like you have to wait until you're at month 5 to get any benefits. It's this weird thing because I think it's because of how lacking we are in this skill set. That is what allows us to receive the benefits such early on. I mean, think about like if you were to go into the stock market, right? And, whatever, like become a Wall Street guy, you immediately receive the benefits of learning the skills, even if you don't actually end up getting the job. Because you know how the stock market works, you know how to invest in for your future. Because, well, I mean, assuming that you're not like 50 years old or like 65 and your future isn't going to last much longer because you're like obese or something, like whatever, all right? And if you are, I apologize. And I wish you saw this when you were younger, but unfortunately, I'm only 17, so maybe someone else, right? Someone else who's older than me, you probably could have seen it then. And honestly, this is the only advice you'll truly need to start seeing success internally and externally, because when you unlock this part of your brain, your imagination, I literally put it as imagination, will help you conquer certain beliefs and give you tips in certain ways that you aren't really sure of. Like, even today, for example, I got done meditating this morning, and for some reason, it's kind of bothering me still, but I'm kind of curious about it because after I got done meditating, the number 4 just came up out of nowhere. Like, literally 4. That was it. Nothing else, nothing in the context, just number 4. That is it. And what I do know is that that's going to be an insight of some sort in some way. And what I want to do is mention that to you so that way you can understand that it's not like you actually do get more luck by doing this. Like I hate to say the word luck because really luck is just skill plus ordinary habit. That's like the bonus. I guess that's the bonus tip of this video is that luck doesn't actually exist unless you're like literally going for the lottery. But even then, right? How many lottery tickets do you buy before you win the lottery? Maybe it's very little, and maybe you do get lucky. But the thing is that you actually went and bought the lottery ticket. That's the skill, right? It's not a good skill because you're literally gambling. But anyways, so understanding that unlocking the right pillar of your brain is essential. And I hope you take away from this video and you do some of these things so that way you can cultivate a better understanding of how your mind works and what you should do to make your future better. And as always, we're here to help you help them. And you get a secret little ending. Arr, 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 arr.